Hey guys, Super Rugby Pacific round 11 is done and dusted. The fantasy points are locked in. In this video, I'm going to do a quick recap of the top scoring players for this round, as well as which players failed to fire. I'll also be doing a recap of how my best picks from last week went as well, before finally we'll take a look at the league leaderboard for this round, see how your guys' teams went, do a quick review of that. But first, quick recap of this week's fixtures. And up first we had the Chiefs giving the Western Force a hiding 56-22. This is pretty much what we expected would happen. Very similar to when the Force came over and played the Crusaders. They showed up, they came to play, they were good for the first half, but like we've seen so often in the second half from the Chiefs, they ran away with the game. After that we had the Queensland Reds versus the Blues. I did expect this game to be a grinding battle in the forwards, which it was, but I did not expect it to blow out by this much. I thought it would be a close game. Instead, yeah, the Reds managed to put 35 points on the Blues. The Blues, they really struggled. Things just didn't go their way. They got over the line many times, but got denied. They got that red card to Mark Talia, which really put them on the back foot, and yeah, the Reds just went away with it. The Blues never recovered. I'd really ghosted this game, mostly pretty glad I did. After that, we had Moana Pacifica taking down the Drua 34-15. I expected this to be an open sort of running game as long as it stayed dry, and it kind of was. But still, I didn't expect Pacifica to shut down the Drua as hard as they did. Bit of a lesson there, mainly Moana, they do want to play smart rugby. They do want to play at the right ends of the field. They will bully you with their forwards if they can. There's not many teams they can do that to, but the Drua are one of them. They did it successfully this game. And yeah, just not a lot of points on offer for the Drua. And with the Highlanders versus the Crusaders, this pretty much went as we expected as well. Crusaders putting the Highlanders to the sword. Highlanders not able to do much about it. Not many points on offer for them. And then last game of the round, we had Brumbies versus the Hurricanes, 29-35. This game, I was looking forward to this game. I thought it would be close, and it was. But this game, it kind of shocked me with just how open it was and the pace it was played at and the points that were scored. So many conversions were missed in this game, so this scoreline is actually unrepresentative of the scoring that happened. It was, yeah, I did not see this one coming at all after the Hurricanes last week, struggling against the Force, really bumbling a lot of opportunities. They did the same thing in this game as well, but they created so much. They were able to just convert a lot of that and still score a lot of points anyway, getting a well-deserved win and in style. They really identified a lot of space out wide in that Brumbies defense, and they just rushed the ball out wide every single time. The backs, they had a field day. That is what we want to see in fantasy, and yeah, really paid off, because if we look at the top scoring players for the round here, you can see it really has a Chiefs and Hurricanes sort of flavor to it. Crusaders had a dominant game as well, but they are not featuring here. There are 4 Hurricanes in that top dozen or so players. Same with the Chiefs as well. Naholo taking out the crown, 86 points. I believe he got 2 tries this game. Very good effort from him. And Cortez Ratama actually taking second place. Pretty rare to see a halfback this high. I also believe he got a double as well. Got a lot of game time as well, because the Chiefs, they currently have a crisis in the backs at the moment, a real shortage of players there. Sean Stevenson, third place, 76. Pretty good effort from him, because he did not get a try. And yeah, Sean Stevenson, he was one of the players, one of my top picks for outside backs. I kind of zigged instead of zagged and went with Narawa, because Narawa had a pretty good week the week before. But no, Narawa not too bad on 47, but Stevenson, he was the guy at the Chiefs. Pretty gutted to miss out on him. Cody Taylor coming away with 74 points, also got 2 tries. Pretty good effort considering he got a yellow card as well. Hasn't posted a lot of big scores this year, Taylor. It was good to see him go hot for once. He was also one of my top picks for the hooker slot as well. Harry Potter on 71, again, he also got a double, 2 tries. Pretty good effort from him in a pretty tough game for the Force against the Chiefs. They did end up scoring 22 points. Most of them went to him. And Billy Proctor. Again, those Hurricanes backs, they were really having a field day. They were finding a lot of space. Proctor, only 1 try for 70 points, pretty good. And he looked great, to be honest. He looked fantastic. He carried very well, bouncing out of tackles. Was also able to link very well with his outsides as well. He's really on the radar going forward from here on out. Also on 70 points, Richie Asiata got a try. It was a more try, I'm pretty sure. Pretty good outing for him. He was a guy I did not put down as one of my best picks at hooker. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised I didn't, looking back of it. Like, this guy, he has been on my radar all year. I really like him. I've picked him several times, especially when Matty Fezler isn't available. He's basically as good as Fezler. And the Reds, they do like to use their forwards. They're not afraid to. They're not afraid to maul at all. And yeah, just the way this game, it went the Reds' way, probably harder than I thought it would. That really benefited Asiata a lot. Still only the second highest scoring hooker though, surprisingly, with 70 points, but still a good effort from him. And Josh Jakim, 69 points, didn't get a try. Good effort from him. He was one of the 10s I mentioned in the best picks video, just because we always knew the Chiefs were going to go well in this Force matchup. Didn't expect them to do that well, to be honest. So that's probably, yeah, that's his biggest score of the year so far. So good on him. Still don't think I'll be picking him that much going forward, but it's good to know he's capable of that type of score. And then backing up, Punavai, Rehana, Harkin. Yeah, just more and more Hurricanes showing up, rounding out that top dozen or so players. And if we sort of flick through position by position, yeah, once you get down sort of past Harry Potter, bit of a drop off here. Punavai doing well, just like all the other Hurricanes. Danny Tawala, quite interesting because he plays 12 for the Moana, and he's always a player who creates a lot. He always he's not afraid to push the pass, go for those offloads. This game really went well for him. Because he's in the back 3 though, not the midfield, hard to pick him regularly. Hasn't posted a big score before now. Was kind of not surprising to see him do well, but see him be one of the top backs for Moana. Although I believe a lot of the action went to Tavita Offa on the right wing this game, and I believe he's not in fantasy at all. If he was, I'm sure he got 2 tries. Yeah, he would have been way up there on the point scoring. He looked really good. Will Jordan, 60 points. Always solid Will Jordan. This week was pretty high scoring, so he's not that high up the rating. Radamai Tavuki Neekins, 51. Pretty score. Good score again. Highlanders again only scoring 10 points. Like, even in these losing efforts, Radamai Tavuki Neekins is doing very, very well. That is important to notice. And look, coming up, they got Moana Pacifica. Bit of an easier game for them. Radamai Tavuki Neekins probably gonna go even better in that game. And then, yeah, we're starting to get below 50 here. Normally these scores would be pretty good. Not this week. Nadawa, Rukuro, Tom Wright. Yeah, they're really, you know, you've left points on the table, unfortunately, if you've ended up with those guys. And looking at the midfield though, super interesting. Billy Proctor, we mentioned him before, 70 points. That is huge for the midfield. Definitely got to keep him in mind going forward, especially if the Hurricanes are able to continue playing their way they have been. Coming up, they've got some tough games. Chiefs next week, Highlanders, Reds, but yeah, if they're able to play at that really high pace and get the ball out wide, like, yeah, really got to think seriously about Proctor. Daniel Rona did this week, 44, was one of my top picks, and yeah, can't really complain when you get the second place midfielder, second highest scorer for the slot. He was on the left wing this game. That was the only reason I had him, and not generally a great pick otherwise, but yeah, you just can't ignore those midfielders on the wing. Same story with Bailey Kunzel. He is a midfielder playing on the wing, got 43 points, got a try. Yeah, again, this theory just keeps proving itself. Well, actually, except for Fina Inisi, another midfielder playing on the wing, only got 20 points this week in a very high scoring game for Moana. I was very disappointed. I had a lot of high hopes for this Pix, and I'm really not sure why it didn't pan out for him. A lot of the ball went down the right wing this week to Tavita Offa. When Anisi did get the ball in a bit of space, he wasn't very aggressive with it. So yeah, not sure what to make of that. He's still a guy I'm going to be keeping in mind, but it seems like we do have these other midfielders on the wing, as well as these Hurricane midfielders who might be, you know, guys to think about more going forward. And yeah, even getting down here, we've still got Lala Milo doing well. Ikitau, guys getting in the mid-30s, pretty good for the midfielders. Quinn Tupaia and Anton Leonard-Brown, they were top picks for me going into that force game. They did not do that great this week. Anton Leonard-Brown, of course, got injured, so there's not much you can do about that. Quinn Tupaia had a pretty good game, but yeah, all the point scoring was happening out on the fringes, so yeah, Tupaia not really able to break into those higher scoring margins. And looking at the fly halves, we already talked about Jacob. Reihana doing pretty well as well. He did replace Kemera, who got injured kind of early. Pretty good effort in the end for Reihana. Probably won't be considering him going forward though. And Callum Harkin, 63 points. Again, like, I knew Harkin was good. I had him last week for that force game, and he was actually my second pick for this week. I ended up going with Willie Haveli because I thought Moana would go well, and they did, but Moana, they really played kind of a conservative game. Like, they got ahead early, and Willie Haveli, whenever he got the ball, he just kicked it. He cleared for territory. Moana were never chasing the game. They never had to run it. He did get the ball in hand a few times on the fringes, but it was always in their own half, so he elected to do the smart thing and just clear it. And yeah, they really just didn't need his abilities ball in hand, so he ended up getting a pretty bad score. Pretty disappointed with that, but really can't fault him. He just played a smart game, and I think that's something I need to consider going forward is, how is the fullback going to play? Are they going to end up kicking the ball a lot? Is the team going ahead and they're not going to need to chase the game? It's pretty tricky math to do, to be honest, but otherwise, I mean, with the Canes looking so good now, you know, the ticket might just be to stick with Harkin going forward. And of course, it's likely DMAC will be coming back in the future as well, so yeah, we'll always have to consider him. And looking at the halfbacks, already talked about Ratsama. Tate McDermott, he was kind of surprised. He has had big games in the past, but not that often. This game he got a try, and the Reds, yeah, was just a consequence of how they were sort of running over the Blues. He really benefited from that. Roygaard's in third place, 47 points. This is pretty common for him. He pretty much always gets in that sort of 40-ish zone. I went with Noah Hotham this week. He only got 15 points. Pretty disappointed with that, to be honest. I honestly thought Hotham, he would probably do, you know, at least as good as that 40 points range, if not higher, because he does like to snipe a lot around the edges of the rucks. He gets line breaks from that. He can get tries from there, but I don't think I saw him try a snipe once this whole game. Maybe part of that is, you know, the Highlanders did actually end up with a lot of ball in that game. The Crusaders just defended so well. The Highlanders weren't able to get any points to reflect that. But Bakatava also not doing that well, only 15 points. And yeah, kind of same story for him. It was really tough going for the Highlanders. They could not crack that defense. Asti actually coming on and getting more points than him. But yeah, it was really a 3-horse race this week, and Noah Hotham was not one of them. And looking at the loose forwards, it's all about Moana this week. Miracle Failangi and Tupo Tailoa, the top two at 61 and 57 respectively. And these two guys, like, yeah, they were part of my top picks this week as well. I didn't end up picking them because I had these Moana players in the backs that I thought would do better than they did. But yeah, these guys were always going to go well. Moana, they do like to use their forwards when they have an edge up front. And yeah, these guys really benefited from that this week. Adi Sevilla, he didn't do quite as well as them, only 43 points. But I mean, we know, all those tries that get scored from close range, he's just as capable of getting those as well. This wasn't his turn this week. I had this guy, Motakia Murray. He was a very soft pick from me. I just wasn't sure who else to pick. He actually got injured in like the first 10-15 minutes, so really unlucky. But the way the draw were going that game, probably wouldn't have gone on to great things. Interestingly, Jacobson was in third place, and yeah, I was thinking about Jacobson a lot. I find it hard to pick the moments on when to get him. I believe I had him last week where he did not do very well. I picked him just on the basis of him having those 2 good weeks before, and I liked the Chiefs match against the Highlanders. It didn't work out for him. This week it did though, so go figure. I just don't know when it is that you need to pick these Chiefs, but he really benefited this game, I think, from that really dominant scrum that the Chiefs had. The try that he got did come off the back of a close range scrum, a 5-meter scrum where the Chiefs were going forward, and he pretty much just ran over and dotted down, and that propels him into the third place for this week. Tom Christie and Leo Willie doing pretty good this week as well. Leo Willie was another pick I was considering for my third slot. Would have been better off if I went for him. He's been in good form recently, did really well in this Blues game, and yeah, 46 points without scoring a try. Very good effort. 47 from Tom Christie is good as well. Just made 1 million tackles and got a couple of turnovers. Hard to pick Christie though going forward. I mean, you need to spend a lot of time without the ball to get that many tackles and turnovers, and it's also hard to bank on guys getting turnovers as well. So, and Christie, he's not much with ball in hand either. He's not a try scorer, so hard to rate him much going forward. Boshi has actually had 2 good weeks in a row. Had a start this week. Had those 2 tries last week coming off the bench. I mean, I'm still not a big fan, but I mean, kind of hard to ignore this. But yeah, I probably would still be picking Jacobson over him if I wanted a Chief in the back row. And down here, we start getting into the below 40 area, so not a lot to remark on there. Looking at the locks, really nothing interesting happened in lock this week. Tom Hooper the highest on 32. Nothing else going on anywhere else. Wanga was my big lock pick for this week. Only got 26, but to be honest, I think it's still worth picking Wanga going forward because we just know he's got that potential to get those line breaks. And yeah, he only needs to get like 1 or 2 and he's going to be the top lock. And if he doesn't, then he just ends up here like 4th position with 26 points. So you're not really risking anything, but you could gain a lot. Looking at hooker, we talked about Cody before. Pretty good, 74 points. Richie Asiata was 70. Kurt Eklund was another one of my top picks for this week. He did pretty well in the end with 54. Did get a maul try, which helped boost him up there. The Blues, they had a bit of a dodgy line out that game, especially near the start of the game. He's thrown pretty much perfectly for the rest of the year, so a bit unfortunate for that to happen this game. Kind of doing pretty well considering I'm pretty sure he came off the bench. I think Dolokoto started, and yeah, he's done this a couple of times. He comes off the bench and gets a good score, but when he starts, he never seems to do well, so go figure. And Ioane Moananu, he was actually one of my top picks as well, just because this guy, he's so good. He can come off the bench. He could still end up being the best hooker. You never know. He did it again this game. He just came on, managed to get 41 points, even being off the bench. To be fair, he did get a bit of extra time because when Cody came off with their card, Moananu got to go on. But still, great effort from him. And yeah, whenever he's starting, we got to consider him really seriously. I went for Taukiaho this week. 39 points, which seems decent, but he actually This is 39 points while scoring a try, so kind of disappointed with that, to be honest. And watching him play, I mean, he was pretty good. He carried pretty well that game if you're watching. He made a lot of tackle busts, but yeah, just not a lot of points to show for it in the end. And he wasn't even held back by line-out errors or anything like that. So yeah, Takiaho, I've picked him a few times this year, and he's, even at the best of times, he's always been a little bit disappointing. So yeah, kind of going off him a bit. And finally, we look at the props. Couple of big scores here. Ollie Norris was 62. Did get a try, which was well deserved. He carried really well this game, just running onto the ball, making some big busts. Ella Alator as well. He got another try, boosting him up to 43, so he could get the second place. He has scored, I think, 4 tries out of his last 5 games. And do you want to guess which was the one time I picked him out of those 5 games? You're right, it was last week where he only got 22 points. Faded him every single other time, but I live to regret it. I had Fletcher Newell, didn't go so well, 15 points, but I mean, it's prop, what do you do? And Saito Ofa'o, I picked him again this week, only got 18, not that great, but you know, I still don't regret this pick. I think he's sort of like Wanga. He's got a lot of potential upside, and if it doesn't work out, well, you're probably not losing out on that much. And he did go close this game. He had one sort of barnstorming run close to the line where he very easily could have gone over. And yeah, I mean, that's going to happen for him every other week probably, and then he will be one of the best props, if not the best prop for that week. So yeah, I am going to keep sticking with him going forward, I think, unless the matchup's really terrible. And otherwise, guys, looking at the rest of my picks, not too much interesting happening, but Carlo Tizzano, I did actually say in the best picks video, this was one week you could probably fade Tizzano. And yeah, he really didn't do as well as he normally does. And that's just, look, you're going up against the Chiefs. That's tough opposition when you're playing away as well. And yeah, only 24 points. He is a very good player. It's possible he still could have gone on to get a decent score, but if you faded him this week, you did pretty well. And the other thing to note as well is Lagana Masi and my outside backs. Yeah, this was a real disaster for me this week. Only 14 points for him. Very disappointing, and yeah, it just comes back to having a bit of a misread on that Moana versus Endura game. I knew Moana would win, but I thought Endura would, you know, get a bit more play in that game, and they really didn't. They really just fumbled from start to finish, and yeah, things just did not go their way at all that game. So yeah, kind of going off Drua players going forward. They got a tough run home, and yeah, we'll see when it comes time to make the next picks. Anyway, let's move on and have a look at the league leaderboard. And this week, round 11, our top scoring player is Callum Cal7, 735 points, pretty huge. Did use one of his boosters though, and used it well. I mean, Will Jordan, Sean Stevenson, you know, there were higher scoring backs than Will Jordan this week, but when it lands on a guy getting 60, you can't be too mad, especially when it landed on a guy who did very, 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 very well. Otherwise though, looks like he's really got a Chiefs flavor to his backline. Had that Chiefs midfield, which really, yeah, that's not where the points went this game. Also went Willie Havili as well, also didn't work out. Had Miracle Failangi though, Hoskin Satutu, and Richie Aziata. So that's a pick that, you know, really gave him a big boost, but really this top round really just gets attributed to this captain's booster down here. Well done on making those picks though. And actually this Cal Sevens guy, he's got 6,900 points. I'm pretty sure he's a top 10 player. I noticed that last week looking at his score. So yeah, shout outs to Cal7 if you're watching the video. This guy, he's gonna be our guy. We gotta cheer him on to go all the way and win that $10,000 first prize. Second place, GT80R Alex, 666 points. Pretty good for a tough round. Not even a lot of Hurricanes players here, just Captain Jordan, Nadawa, Stevenson. Pretty good combo there, probably a popular one, I imagine. Tapia and Havili. Still a lot of people seem to pick Havili, even though he's gone off every game for like the last 3 games. So I'm always interested in why people are going with Havili. Also had Willie Havili and Roigard, Wailangi as well, the two Moana picks, and had Cody Taylor and Alan Alatoa. So yeah, some pretty typical sort of picks here, but landing on some really good ones in Taylor and Stevenson, which carried him to second place without using any boosters. Not far behind him, Laker Luca and Captain Will Jordan again, Nadawa and Sean Stevenson. Had the Daniel Rona pick as well, like that. Also had Finney and Nisi, possibly following my picks. Unfortunately, didn't help you this week. Willie Havili, I imagine a lot of people did have Willie Havili this week, but yeah, really just not firing, unfortunately. Wailangi, Severe, Tizano, standard stuff. Had the Wanga pick, I like it. Alan Alatoa doing very well, and Taukiaho as well. Well done, Laker Luca, you got a good score this week. Keith in 4th place, what have we got? Had the Lagana Masi pick as well, unfortunately, but Rona and Kunzel, 2nd and 3rd spot for the midfield. Well done there. Willie Havili as well. Had Wailangi and Tupo Taialoa, favored them above Artie, and they both did better. I really like that. That is some smart stuff. Had Tizano as well. Not a lot happening up front. Had Alan Alatoa. And then in 5th place, we have Stoned Ape, and had the Kenny Naholo pick and Billy Proctor. So somebody knew the Canes were going to go well, and yeah, I'm interested to hear from you what you were thinking about this game. Had the captain Reese though, really unlucky there. Reese, again, just another week where he is not getting great points. I think he did end up moving to the midfield as well, but really the ball just didn't go his way this week, unfortunately. And then we have Murray, Courier 0 point. I'm pretty sure he got more than 0, but yeah, the Brumbies back 3 not doing a whole lot this week, unfortunately. Russell Maitavuki Neepkins, pretty solid pick. Proctor and Harkin, I like it, they both did well. Might have gone with my pick here, Mordecai Murray. Unfortunately, he got injured. Captain Artie, that's an interesting one as well. Could have been better this week, could have been worse as well though. If we jump across here and have a look at the overall leaderboard for the whole competition, actually it looks like Cal 7 is now number 1 overall, I guess off the back of using this booster, so congratulations to him. Cal, if you are out there watching, give us a shout in the comments. Would be interested to know how you approach the game. But yeah, Cal 7 is definitely our guy now, guys. We need to help him to the finish line to hold on to that number 1 spot. But yeah, just checking the leaderboard to see if these top guys are doing anything different. They are sort of all posting scores above 600, so yeah, they're definitely onto it in a way that I am not. Looking at the 2nd place, Harry's team 1. Had Naholo there, so yeah, had an inkling that the Canes were gonna go well. Had Sever Reese though, a bit unfortunate with that one. Had the Will Jordan captain. Had Josh Jacob as well, so yeah, knew he had potential, but yeah, put a lot of faith in him going for that one there over guys like Harkin and Willie Havili. Looking at the 3rd place, fuck the Blues. We got someone who really doesn't like the Blues here. Had Nadawa, Jordan captain, had the Harry Potter pick as well, and Richie Asiata, Roigard Harkin. Interesting sort of mix there. Had the Chiefs midfield as well, so yeah, sort of falling into the same trap as a lot of people with that one. Squarehead, 4th place. Had Stevenson, Captain Springer, maybe thinking the game was going to play out like the force one where Springer ran in about 5 tries, didn't work out. Still a pretty good score though at 651. Had Rona, went for Havili. Had the All Moana back row. I mean, it's a good back row, can't go wrong to be honest. Had Cody Taylor as well, so nothing special happening here, but yeah, getting that Stevenson pick over Nadawa, or having both of them, that's really made a big difference for a lot of players this week. 5th place, Buckies and Crackies, 640 points. Captain Jordan had Lagonamasi as well, but also had Proctor. Interesting Tupaia Proctor. That really paid off. Also had Reese, so yeah, kind of flubbing in the back line here, but just making up for it, having Jacob, having Proctor. Yeah, still had Tizano as well. So yeah, it sort of goes to show, guys, like a lot of people, they're kind of, no one's really having a perfect run. A lot of people are sort of falling into one trap or another, and also making up for it in one place or another as well. Like a lot of people getting Stevenson really worked out for them. The guys who are clued in on the Hurricanes, that really worked out for them. But yeah, it's pretty rare that you get guys who were sort of onto both tracks. We got another guy here actually showing some faith in Finney and Nisi, the 6th place guy. Also had Willie Havili as well. A lot of people sort of missing out with him this week. So yeah, interesting looking at the top players. Like, yeah, like I just said, a lot of people making the same good calls and the same bad calls, but just, you know, different sets and different combinations. So interesting stuff there. Anyway, guys, that'll do it for this week. Not a great week for me. Hope it was a better one for you. Couple of lessons to come away with from this week are probably, man, the Hurricanes, they could be back, like especially in a fantasy sense. If they keep playing like that, where they just play super fast, move the ball to the fringes really fast, like they're just going to be dynamite for points week in and week out. Beyond that, maybe a small lesson with Moana, like if they're up against a team where they can really sort of control things and win their battle up front, then that's pretty much what they're going to do. And their back rowers in that matchup, they're going to be the guys to pick. And otherwise, yeah, the key thing is every week just to have a good feel for how every matchup is actually going to play out on the park. What points are going to be scored, where they're going to come from, the forwards, the backs. And other than that, you just got to be sensible. So on that note, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you again on Thursday for the Best Picks video. Have a good one.